What's happening, party people? I am still in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And again, you guys know how this works. I will stay in the area until no one else needs my help. So, maybe 3 days, maybe 2 weeks. However, if you need my help, you need to have your parts available so I can help you. If you don't have your parts, I can't do the repair. I can't do the maintenance. I can't change the brakes. I can't do the timing belt. If you know you need this stuff done, get the parts as soon as you can. If you don't have the parts today, order them today. Maybe I'll still be in the area when you get your part. In most cases, it only takes a day or two to get your parts. Order your parts. So, if you want to connect, call or text. I don't believe my daily viewers are acting like they don't understand this. If you want to connect, call or text. If you want me to fix something on your car, call or text. If you want to have a meet and greet, call or text. I can't chase all these messages on all these different social medias. I don't have the staff to do that. But I do have a phone number on my website that you can call or text. So if you want to connect, call or text. I'm here until no one else needs me. But I can't wait 3 or 4 days for parts. So basically what I've discovered over the past few months of traveling is it costs me about $150 a day to be in any location. So if you need my help, it's going to take a few hours. Help me with those expenses. I'd appreciate it. If you want to give a donation or pay for hourly labor, that's great too. I got a video linked in the comments above. So people that are paying for my service and they have me doing several things on their vehicle, basically my expense to them is about $450 a day. You can get a lot done for $450 a day when I know what I'm doing with the kind of cars I normally work on. If you got me scratching around on something I'm not familiar with, that could get expensive trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. But anyway, if you got something for me to do and I know what I'm doing, it's a great value. But if it's something only take an hour or two, help with the expenses a little bit. Maybe if it's a 2-hour job, help with half the expenses, But if it's something that takes 4 to 6 to 8 hours, I appreciate it if you can at least cover my daily expenses, which is $150 a day. So that's it, folks. I'm here to help you. When no one else needs my help, I'm out. That's just the way this rolling goes, It's the Robert Spinner DIY helper traveling experience. So if you want to connect, call or text. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the morning back on this S80 I destroyed yesterday. Had a couple of issues with yesterday. Remember, I broke this vacuum line here. This vacuum line goes through this little firewall tube there, and it comes out here, goes over to the brake booster. I went by the dealer to get that part. They do not have that part stocked, and it's like a $75 part. This is the size of the tubing here. I have some good quality vacuum tubing that can squeeze over that and not collapse under the vacuum, especially if you get the hose almost connected there. So, because that thing broke off right at that tip right there, I cut it on the other side and couldn't get hose on it, that little piece of rubber hose I put there, to get it through to this side to get it on the other side. So I wanted to replace it, couldn't find it. So I went to Home Depot and got some of this hard tubing. This is the hard tubing there, 100 psi, 180 degrees. Where it is, it shouldn't get no hotter than that. Plumbing, tubing, 1/4 inch. I guess that's probably ID. Sorry you can't see that. Let me get this light off of here. There it is. You can see it when I zoom in. This is the skew on it. Let's see if we can get this thing to come in on that. That's the tubing I got. It should work for this small piece I'm gonna get. I'm gonna cut this off 2 inches. This is the comparison between the tube I broke and the tube that it is. Very close to each other. I think the white is barely bigger. If I put a caliper on it, it'd be so close. You can see it there. You know, real close. Almost the same exact size. So I'm gonna cut this 2 inches. This piece here is like 1.25 inches. I'm gonna cut it 2 inches to go through that firewall, see if that works. If that don't work, I'll cut it again. I might even stick it through, connect it, then cut it. Get this vacuum pump back together. So let me get to work on that, show you what I did, put this stuff back together, change a couple of coils here, change this end link on this side. I think that's the noise for the suspension, and then work on the vacuum detection pump. That'll be a nice video for you guys. I tried to push that tube through there with the vacuum on there, and I tore the vacuum with the pliers. So I'm gonna have to use another piece. So let me get another hose, put it on there, zip tied, put it on here, zip tied. Now I have enough on this side to put a hose on there. So let me go ahead and use my other piece of hose here, and then use another piece for this piece out here. Got that short hose on there, zip tied. Now I'm gonna plug this one in here, hook it up there, and zip tie it there. Now you take your hose, put it on there, work it, massage it in there. It'll probably click twice. So do want to get that in there. Let me use 2 hands. Clicked once, nice and secure. Now we're gonna put the rest of this stuff back together. The air box, the sensor, plug that back in. Now that I have this together, zip ties and everything on it, while I was leaning on this wiper linkage, it moved. So I'm gonna go inside, park the wipers, put the cowl back on, put the wipers on, and then I'm gonna put this cover on the side of the battery. I mentioned before that this cover was missing from here. That piece is like $11 or $12 from the dealer. You can order that. They don't normally have that in stock. This piece here is busted on that. Somebody busted that. When somebody put this battery back in, the positive battery should go on first so that it's in this groove. Then the negative battery cable should go over top of that. I'm not going to disconnect that because we're trying to pass emissions, and I don't want to clear any codes or anything. Let me get this engine base of this window trim piece back in here. I plug that connector back in there. I tuck this up under this. This has like a slot in it for this to go up under there. I clip this here. It was not removed from there, so that's fine. I put this rubber grommet in here, put the rubber grommet in there. I'm putting these pins in here. You push the pins in and then slide the center pieces in to lock those in. I need to find a couple more. Thought I had them right here. Let's see. Yep, there's a couple more right there. That's the clamp that was on that hole back there. On that grommet there. Didn't need to take that off. I'm not sure, but anyway, it's like it is there. And here's another one of these pins here. You slide them in, hold the trim down, then push the center piece in. I got one more to put there. And then I'm gonna put this piece right here in front of the battery, clip that in place. When I pushed this in, it clicked one time, clicked in place. got 2 seals in it. Should be good to go. Take the front of the battery tray deal here, set it in place, snap it in, hook up the battery vent. So I'm going to put the bolt back here, one's a 10, one's a 13. Have that bolt secure, now I'm going to put the air box in. I noticed there's a clamp missing a nut here. However, it looks like that stud is broke off. So that's supposed to go there. Once I get the air box in, I'm going to scoop the bottom of it in there, line up the top of it here. I had to get that clamp I dropped down there. A dual clamp somebody had on this. Then I'm going to plug this sensor in here. This air box has some kind of grommet there. Got a hole there that goes on that post right there. Then it's got this rubber bushing guide here that goes in that slot right there. Go ahead and put that in properly. Of course, get the front of it to snap into that air intake. Couldn't really get the box to sit all the way down with the grommet here, so I went on ahead and put the grommet down there. Now I'm going to try to fish this back down there and lock it in. I actually heard it snap in place, so now I'm going to put the air filter in, and then I'm going to try to screw the top of the air box on. None of these screws were secure when I got this thing out of here, so maybe I can secure them now that it's locked in place properly. Someone stripped all 4 screw holes, so I got them lined up and put in as best I could. So I tightened the clamp down on this tube. I did plug in the sensor before I put the lid on. The wire harness has a little securing clip there, so I put that back on there. Air box is all done. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the engine air filter on this 2008 Volvo S80. It has a 6-cylinder engine. It is a T6. You can see the air tube coming from here, and your air filter is in here. All you really need to do is get a T25, unscrew the screw here, 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 and back there. You lift the box up enough, all that stuff will pivot with it. Lift it up enough to get the air filter out, slide the new air filter in, and secure the lid back down. Do not over tighten these screws or you'll strip the bottom of the box, the screw receivers in the bottom of the air box. Secure all 4 screws and you're all done. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add brake fluid into the S80. This is a 2008 model. The brake fluid reservoir is under this cap here. You can see it here with the battery cover removed. You take your finger, it says open this way, close that way. You turn it like this, lift that off of the engine. Like that. It's got 2 tabs on it. One tab is bigger than the other, and then these slots, one slot is bigger than the other. Then you put the .4, you see it says there .4 only, brake fluid in there till you get to the max mark, which is really almost to the top of the reservoir. Then you put the cap back on. After you do that, you set this back on so those slots fall down in place. Turn that thing with your fingers, and that's all you got to do. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to replace the battery in this 2008 S80. It's a T6 model. It has the battery over here. You can see the battery uncovered there. It should have a little plastic piece that covers it. This one does not. Someone's removed it. It also should probably have a little cover piece that snaps onto that. Somebody has lost that. Anyway, first thing you want to do is take this seal and pull it up away from the car, peel it up to about halfway, lay it over the engine. Next thing you want to do is unclip this cover of the battery here, undo it, set it aside. Next thing you want to do is put a big cross tip screwdriver in there, turn it from that position, which is 9 o'clock, swing it down to the 6 o'clock position. That will unlock this cover. Then you lift this cover up this way. Lift it up and pull it out toward the passenger side, because it has a couple of hooks under this side. And as you can see, it has a guide here that guides it along this trim piece. Then you will have the covers off of the battery. Next thing you want to do, you always want to disconnect the ground first. You disconnect the ground with a tool, pull it aside. Then you'll see the positive. It has a little cover over that. Unsnap that cover, set it aside, and undo the positive, and then swing those cables out of the way. Now, you got a grommet holding that here. You could leave it there or move it. You got a vent tube here. You undo this vent. It just pulls out like that. Then if you look down there, there's this big rod that comes up. That's the battery hold down. You put a tool on that, unscrew that there. That will release the battery from the tray. Then you shift the battery toward the passenger side, lift it up and out of the car. Now, when you replace the battery, the car is so smart that it has remembered how crappy that last battery is. So first of all, you want to make sure you get a battery with the cranking amps that the owner's manual recommend. Whether it's 600, 800, 900, you get the proper cranking amps on the battery. You put the new battery in the car. You secure it with the bracket down the side. So you put it in the car toward the passenger side. You slide it over to the driver's side, locking the back side of the battery in. Then you put the bracket on the front side. You plug this in and you connect the positive terminal, secure that, put the cover on it. Then you hook up the negative terminal, secure it. Then you put this cover in. It's got two hooks. You hook it under, make sure the guide is in the right area, push it down, turn it over, lock that thing from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. The cover's locked. Then you put this gasket back over the car. This piece of seal here stops engine fumes and liquids and stuff from coming over your windshield in case something happens inside the engine. All that stuff goes under the car, not across your windshield. Then you put this cover on here. Then you go inside the car and you need a Volvo class scanner to do this. You connect the Volvo class scanner. You go through the series of menus until you get to a point where you go to fault trace and you go to a battery screen and you tell the car that you're putting in a new battery. So the car needs to erase everything that it remembered from the old crappy battery and start conditioning the car to the new battery. That way you don't get a battery fault light inside the car. So I'm going to sit down with someone, have them go through that with me to make sure I show you the easiest way to do that. Once we do that, I'll edit this video to show you how to use the Volvo class scanner to calibrate the battery to the vehicle so that the vehicle treats it like a new battery. Sometimes the aftermarket coils are not the quality that you need to allow the car to run properly, and you may suffer occasional misfires even with newer coils. So you want to get the branded coils for the car. Went to the dealer, bought some, 80 bucks a piece. They've already replaced a couple. We're going to replace the last 4 on this vehicle. Very easy to do. You find the latch on the plug, you unlatch the coil. Squeeze this down, lift it up with a little screwdriver, whatever you got to do, undo it. Get a little wrench, take that loose, pull the coil out, set the new one down, put the bolt back in, snug it down. It don't have to be torqued. It's not a wheel that's going to fall off the car. Snug it down, plug the thing back in. That's all there is to it. I got 4 of the coils replaced. The other ones had already been replaced. So I'm going to clean up my mess in the engine cover. Then I'm going to have to replace this vacuum pump and hoses. And I have a link around here somewhere. Did I bring it out here? I done lost the part. And I sway bar link. There it is on the ground. So let me jack the car up, put it on jack stands, pull these wheels off, replace this anti-sway bar link, and then do the hard job. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.